Okay, peace and greetings to you guys. This is Dr.O, the PA Pro, otherwise known as Omar Abdul-Malik. Let's see, I thought I would talk to you all about just making goals, especially as we approach the new year, by the Gregorian calendar anyway. So 2017 is coming up. It's little less than 10 weeks away, so that's like a countdown for all of us. So I happened upon this idea that we should start making, our New Year's resolutions before January 1st. A lot of people have these New Year's resolutions on January 1st, and then by a lot of studies show that, by the end of January or February, people aren't engaged in pursuing those resolutions anymore. And it usually has to do with things like losing weight or making more money or overcoming some type of bad habit, smoking or something like that. But one of the things that I do is I try to write my goals down, but I also I put up a calendar, and then I cross out each day as I approach 2017, or whatever date it is that I've set a particular goal. And that way I can kind of quantify how long it's taken me to reach a goal, or if I don't necessarily reach that goal, I can modify that goal. So some of you all are trying to get into PA school or nursing school or medical school or whatever other program you may be trying to pursue. If you're like me, you're a goal-oriented person, but sometimes you don't exactly know how to go about reaching that goal. So with the advent of tools like the internet, various types of social media, you can ask the advice of other people that are doing the things that you're trying to do. People like myself, DHEd, the PA coach, they're really valuable resources. But I would encourage myself and encourage first and foremost, but remind you all, really try to be very specific with your goals and keep your goals realistic. Don't be quixotic about your goals. By that I mean, if you're familiar with there's a story about this man named Don Quixote. So Don Quixote was this man who would attack windmills under the false delusion of thinking that the windmills were actually dragons. And he would be on a horse, or I think it was a mule, with a like one of these night poles, night lances, and he would attack windmills. And he had this buddy, this sidekick named Sancho Pancho, I think. And he would say, Senor, those are windmills. Those aren't dragons. But Don Quixote didn't want to hear it. So he eventually died attacking the windmills. I forgot exactly how he died. I think he got hit with one of the giant sails of the windmill or something. But you don't want to make your goals quixotic. You want to keep them realistic. And as you approach those goals, let's say some of you all want to go to PA school, but you think to yourself, okay, I'm too old, I don't have the money, or you don't have the GPA. Well, you can do things to kind of research, like, okay, are you really too old because you're 50 or you're maybe even 60 years old? Try to find people who are your contemporaries who are either going to school now or going back to school. You can also, if you don't think you have the money, there's a lot of creative ways to pay for schools. There's scholarships and grants, and if you say, okay, this is really a quixotic endeavor that I have, given your sort of circumstances, you can make adjustments. You can say, okay, I can't go to PA school, but maybe I can do a 2-year RN program, or a 2-year program to become something like a physical therapy assistant, and you're still working within the healthcare field. If you've seen other videos of mine, you've seen that I've interviewed people who found very fruitful and rewarding careers with which they're very satisfied. And they're not doctors or PAs or doctors and nurse practitioner. So there's a lot of other things that you can do. But if you're going to make goals, I think try to keep them realistic, I would say. Don't be pessimistic, be optimistic, but keep your goals realistic. And also be sure to write them down and then engage in kind of goal-oriented task. This is kind of a Covey-esque paradigm. So if your goal is to go to PA school, know what courses you need to take. Know what type of GPA you need to get. Know the type of GRE scores you need to get. Some of you all have put in the comments section, you were asking me advice about direct patient hours. Well, I can't really tell you what would constitute direct patient hours. I would suggest maybe something like a phlebotomist or a medical assistant or a nurse assistant, but it's up to the school to decide what they're going to accept. So you have to contact that school. So that's a task-oriented or a goal-oriented task in which you would be engaging to reach your goal. Let's say it's you got the goal of losing weight. You say, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, I was talking to some of my colleagues, and we gained a lot of weight on this job because, we get free food. The PAs and the doctors here get free lunches, and then there's always some kind of ceremony or something, where we can get free food, like a medical talk or something. You put on a lot of weight. So now we're trying to exercise and lose weight. So qualitatively, you would say, well, I want to lose a bunch of weight, or I want to get in better shape. That's one of my goals. Quantitatively, how much weight do you want to lose? I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, so what are some goal-oriented tasks that you need to do that? Well, have a salad for lunch instead of getting, the main course. For dessert, you can have an apple instead of getting the cake. Get a bottle of water instead of a bottle of soda. Again, goal-oriented task. But that's important, and just try to be aware of how fast time goes by. Some of you all have contacted me, and you have this notion that 2 years or 5 years or 10 years is a very long time. It really isn't. It goes by very, very quickly. So if you have to do things like take some courses over, or enroll in a particular program, a 2-year program or something, to reach your goal, go ahead and do that. That time will go by very quickly. But I'd like to know what some of you all's goals are for 2017, and maybe I can help you accomplish those goals, and maybe you all can help me accomplish some of my goals. But I look forward to talking with some of you all. I'll put my contact information in the description section. But I wish you all the best of success in your endeavors. Take care. Peace.